Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and welcome to the Harrisburg Mall. By the way, don't worry about that staircase that we're walking past. We'll check that out later in the video. Anyway, I'm sorry that it took me quite some time to put this video together. It wasn't necessarily the easiest video that I edited. It took me over 3 hours to film this place and photograph it as well. I was here just a few days before the mall closed for good, and I wanted to take advantage of the opportunity and be as thorough as I possibly could for you guys. Not to mention, with all the other projects that I've been working on the channel and uploading almost every single day, this just kind of sat on the back burner for a moment. Anyway, welcome to the Harrisburg East Mall, as it was originally called when it opened in 1969. The mall was located just outside of Swatara Township, and it was the largest mall in the Harrisburg area. The only anchor store left is Bass Pro Shops. Even though the mall was closed, Bass Pro still remains today, at least for now. The vacant anchors, you saw them in the intro, would be Macy's and Boscov's. When Harrisburg East Mall opened in 1969, the initial anchors were Wanamaker's and Gimbel's, with JCPenney opening at a later date. During construction, a natural limestone cave known variously as Big Pit, Paxtang, or Crystal Paradise Cave, known for its anthodite and speleothem formations, was uncovered. In 1978, Gimbel's closed due to poor sales at the location as well as its distance from other stores in the chain, which made it unprofitable. Hess would open in that space later that same year. In 1994, Hess would close due to the company's merge with other stores. Hecht's, being one of them, opened immediately after. In 1999, Wanamaker's closed, and Lord & Taylor would open in that spot a year later. In 2001, JCPenney's would close, and Boscov's would open in that space just 2 years later in 2003. Now, I know it looks awfully dark in this corridor, and the reason for that being is, when I got here, the mall technically wasn't open yet for business. They opened up the doors early to let mall walkers come in and do their laps around the place, and I came in here and started filming, and at the time the lights weren't on, and you'll notice that in some scenes like this one here, the lights on the pillars aren't on, and then later in the video they are, especially down by the Bass Pro Shops and in the center of the mall. As a matter of fact, the fountain that's just going out of view now wasn't even on, but later in the video it is. And I thought to end this video, I would give you guys a little bit of ASMR by giving you shots of the fountains, including this one, and the one down by Bass Pro Shops. So, sit back and relax. I think you'll enjoy that. I think it's going to be really peaceful. Much more than a child's play place and rides tucked right underneath of the escalators like that. Getting back into the history of the mall, in 2004, a $77 million revitalization project, which, in addition to the renovations to the mall's decor, included the addition of a 14-screen Great Escape Theater and entertainment complex on the southwest corner. The last phase of the renovation was planned to be completed in 2008 with a brand new streetscape look on the north side. However, the addition remained uncompleted in 2009, due in part to changing market conditions as well as financial difficulties with the mall's owner, Feldman Mall Properties. All three of the stores were abandoned in an unfinished state. And that's one thing I noticed walking through this place. It kind of had a mixture of old and new. You could kind of tell where the mall was renovated and where it wasn't. And it was a goofy balance to me to see some old mixed with new. I kind of liked it. It gave the mall character. Now that we got sidetracked a little bit, let's get back into the history again. In 2004, Lord & Taylor would close, and Bass Pro Shops would open later that year after a 2-floor expansion of the building was built, and the Wanamaker's 3rd floor was made private. Geez, it's difficult for me to say Wanamaker's, because I just want to say Whataburger if you're familiar with my other videos. Anyway, sorry about that. In 2006, Hecht's was converted to Macy's due to Macy's parent company, Federated Department Stores, having acquired the Hecht's parent company, May Department Stores, in 2005. Sidetracking, again, here we are down by the Bass Pro Shops and the major renovations that they did, like they do with several other malls that they're located in, and the beautiful fountain that they put here. And again, I'll show you more of that towards the end of the video, but for now, enjoy the sounds of it for just a moment. One thing I've noticed over the years, thanks to my friend Anthony of Ace's Adventures, is when you go to a dead mall, periodically you'll see generic photos of people smiling, full of bags, and I could just tell you, from visiting Harrisburg Mall as many times as I have over the years, nobody has smiled like this or had that many shopping bags in their hands in several years. I hate to say that, but it's true. And you might notice that at a lot of dead malls, and if you don't pay close attention, I guarantee you'll see it. Now here we are looking at the Bass Pro Shops yet again, and you'll notice that all the lights are on now as it just hit 12 o'clock. Even though when I walked down here and the lights were off, I know you noticed the fountain was on, which I thought was strange that it was on, but the other one wasn't. Oh well, it's their business to run, and they can run it any way they'd like to. I do appreciate the fact that they had the fountain on early, though, for mall walkers to enjoy, and myself. And, you know, I spent a little bit of time there just taking it in and listening to the sounds of the water running. It was really relaxing. Anyway, if you do get to go out to Harrisburg, I recommend you go check out this Bass Pro Shops. It's a really nice store. They have an aquarium in there where they have some fish swimming around, and you can walk up the steps and see it, or you could take an elevator up to the 2nd floor and you'll be able to see the fish through there. It's a great store. All the employees were super friendly and helpful, and I was able to get a few things, such as a couple pairs of pants, a couple of the Bass Pro Shop hats, and even a moon pie, which, you know, I love moon pies. My sweet tooth hit, and, well, it was pretty darn good. Anyway, we'll come back to Bass Pro later here in the video. I try to focus a little bit of time on this just because of how nice I thought it looked. But in the meantime, as we walk down these steps back down to the first floor so you can see the center court area with the lights on now, I'll get back into the history of the Harrisburg Mall. We'll now go into 2008. Boscos would file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, causing 10 stores to close, with the Harrisburg Mall location being one of them. Since then, nothing has ever moved in, and the store has been vacant. On July 9th, 2009, the Harrisburg Mall was sold as sheriff's sale to 3 financial groups after the previous owner, Feldman Lubert Elder, defaulted on a $52.5 million mortgage. In June 2012, Harrisburg Mall was purchased from TD Bank by Maryland-based commercial real estate developer St. John Properties and Petrie Ross Ventures, who collectively own or have developed over 25 million square feet of commercial property in 6 states. As you take a look at the mall directory, I'll tell you that we're just a moment from stepping downstairs into the basement where the management office and restrooms are located, as well as what looks like a couple of tenants, possibly, or maybe a community room or gathering place or banquet room. I'm not quite sure, but I didn't really care for it. Let's go take a walk down these steps and I'll show you what I mean. I'm not sure about you guys, but I can sometimes feel a little bit claustrophobic, and I could say if I spent enough time down here, I probably would lose my mind, just being honest. I don't really care for it, and if you're handicapped, how the heck are you supposed to get down to these restrooms? Well, anyway, it didn't matter because they had a working elevator, and you'll see that in a little bit here when we get back up to the second floor. And for those that were handicapped, they had restrooms in the aesthetic food court, which you'll also get to see, and I really think you'll love that. But anyway, here we are in the basement. Now that we're back on the first floor, I'm going to take you on a ride on the elevator up to the second floor where I'll show you what I haven't yet up there, and that beautiful food court, which is very aesthetic. Enjoy the ride. Now that we have done that, we have a little bit more history to go through on this mall. In 2012, a place called Sega Sports Restaurant was demolished, and in 2013 a Books-A-Million would open, and a store called Second and Charles would open in a spot that looked like a Barnes & Noble, if you noticed that on the outside of the mall. Well, fun fact, it was actually supposed to be a Barnes & Noble, but Barnes & Noble backed out, never opened, And Second and Charles, which is a similar and comparable store, opened in its place and was actually very nice. I bought a few things there over the years on trips out to Harrisburg. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with that store since the mall has closed. If they had to relocate, I hope they were able to, as well as the other tenants, and they're all doing well. I know Bass Pro Shops is the only one that remains, to my knowledge. If Second and Charles does, that's great. But anyway, getting into more history, on January 6, 2020, it was announced that Macy's would be closing in March as part of a plan to close 125 stores nationwide. If you know anything about Macy's, they've been in financial trouble for years now and have been closing stores every single year, with multiple stores slated to close later this year as well. When Macy's closed, it left Bass Pro Shops as the only remaining anchor. A little bit more history before I wrap up. On February 7th, 2023, St. John Properties revealed a redevelopment plan for the mall, in which the mall, with the exception of Bass Pro Shops, would be demolished and redeveloped to include retail along with business space that can be used for medical offices, schools, light manufacturing, and general offices. The redevelopment plan still needs approval, however, demolition has already begun. Tenants of the mall were given notices to vacate by January 31st to allow for demolition and redevelopment of the mall to begin. And on January 31st, the Harrisburg Mall officially closed its doors, marking the end of its 54-year run. Demolition, as I said, has already begun, and trucks and other equipment were stationed in the parking lot, signaling the imminent commencement of the gutting and demolition process. Now here we are in the beautiful food court. Really hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed putting this one together for you guys. I'm sorry it took me so long, but I've had a lot of other videos I've been trying to put together for you guys. As you know, I work tirelessly to put videos up almost every single day, and I work a full-time job. It's not easy, and I apologize for the delay. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like this video enough but you don't want to hear my annoying voice commentating throughout the whole thing, consider going over to Patreon, where there is a commentary-free version of this video where you can listen to just the natural sounds of the mall and enjoy it in the state that it was in when I was there on that cold January day. Anyway, I really appreciate you all watching. Really hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for everything you do to make this channel grow, from watching videos, liking them, even disliking them, and to all my Patreon supporters that help make videos like this possible. If you would like to become a Patreon member, you can contribute as little as $1 a month and you get exclusive content on there whenever I can upload it. And there's no obligation, cancel anytime. Link is in the description below. With that said, I'm going to leave you now with the sounds of some music, and then I'll end the video with a little ASMR of the fountains, which I think you'll enjoy. Thank you very, very much for watching, and to my cousin Jesse, who moved from Pittsburgh to Harrisburg, if you're seeing this video, hi cuz, hope you're doing well. See you again really soon. Alright everybody, take care and stay awesome. Love you all. See you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.